Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're about ready to get started with our festivities. First, I want to introduce you to Pat Shipe. She's the president of the Akron Education Association. Very instrumental in us having this here today, a fine media day, always with a great luncheon, and then followed by our media services folks, and all our coaches get an opportunity to talk about their team. So first of all, let's have Pat Shipe come up and address you for a couple of words. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I know you're all hungry, so we'll get started here. I just want to welcome you to AEA. We've had the opportunity and the pleasure to host these media events for a number of years now. We appreciate you coming, acknowledging that all of you young men and young women sitting here are leaders in your school, and we appreciate everything you do, both academically and on the fields and courts that you participate in, and welcome and have a good afternoon. Thank you.
We want anybody else, Coach, or no? We want to welcome all our media folks. We'll talk more about them after we get done with the luncheon, but it's always great to have our partners from WAKR, the Akron Beacon Journal, and certainly WAPS here with us today. Always a pleasure. They do a great job covering all of our teams, and we're very happy that they're here again. Welcome once again to our City Series Basketball Media Day. We're absolutely excited to have each and every one of you here again. A lot of new faces in basketball this season. Looking for a season that maybe we don't have a lot of expectations about ahead of time this year. I think the season's going to be exciting both on the boys' side and the girls' side. Coach Vassilotti and I were discussing some of the great teams we had coming back from last year, and we really feel like both the boys and the girls' races are going to be wide open. So we're looking forward to a great basketball season. As always, thanks to all of our media folks that are here today, WAKR, Jim Clark, Michael Bevan, WAPS, as always, and our great hosts here at the AEA. Can we give them a great hand at the AEA for their good work today? Without further ado, let's introduce to you our athletic director, our coordinator of athletics for Akron Public Schools, Mr. Joe Vassilotti.
Hi everyone, great to see you here today. I want to thank Pat and her crew at AEA. They do a great job putting this on. We're really blessed. We were talking in the food line here among area high school leagues and conferences. I believe we're the only one to do Media Day for 3 seasons, fall, winter, and spring. So we're truly blessed that AEA puts this on for our student athletes and coaches. It's an awesome event. I want to thank the media for being here as well. And we have, of course, the format today, as usual. We'll hear from each coach, bringing up his or her players for a few brief comments about the upcoming season and your prospects. Personally, from the athletic office perspective, I want to thank Beth and Ron, who are here today helping, as always, for helping me so much there downtown. Some of you might have noticed new scoreboards up in your gyms, your respective gymnasiums. That's been an ongoing project for the last year or so. So we're excited to get those going and hopefully working well with their video screens and stat panels and so forth. A few of the schools are still in progress to get those boards up, which will hopefully happen, if not in the next couple weeks, definitely over the holidays when there's more downtime at the schools. So we're working now to make sure whatever boards you have in your gym are working for your games. That's certainly very important. So we look forward to that upgrade in each of our gymnasiums. And you know, with the start of any new season is going to be new enthusiasm, and I know you're ready to get out there and compete. Some of you have begun scrimmages already, and the games will start shortly. What I loved about playing hoops was the fact that I was telling Coach Wallace this too. When I was coming off football season, getting into basketball season, I never felt so out of shape that first week after football transitioning to the hardwoods. Like, what the heck? This is weird. Like, I've never done anything physical in my life. But what's great about hoops is it's a grind, and you build that conditioning, and you're doing that now, and you're bringing your teams together, and you're going to be ready to compete shortly. And it's not always easy. I remember days, and this was way back before three-pointers. There was no line for that three-point stuff. No. Which would have helped me. You know, I wasn't posting anyone up inside at 6'6". But I remember some Saturday practices after, say, a Friday night game, and the building wasn't heated as well on Saturday, and the gym was cold, we had to do this drill where we weren't, it was a fast break drill. We weren't allowed to dribble, so we had to pass and run, and it was like, oh man, it's about 50 degrees in here. But it's those kinds of practices sometimes you have to grind through, which build that mental toughness, which is going to help you throughout the season, and heck, it's going to help you in life in general, to be able to persevere through adverse conditions. And challenge each of you to be mentally tough this year with your team, be leaders by the actions you take out there. Be mentally strong enough to play through an official's call with which you might not agree. We know that always happens, right? But you have to shrug it off, go to the next possession, and keep playing. So we look forward to, as Ron said, everyone competing, having a great season. Looks to be a wide open race on both sides with the boys and girls. I'll stop babbling on here, and we'll go with the girls first. So we'll go alphabetically. With the Buchtel girls, we'll bring up Coach Nujbauer, our defending city champions. Coach, come on up.
Okay, I brought my notes. I'm never real comfortable doing this. It's getting a little easier. First thing, I want to thank AEA, Pat and Bill. Athletics, I want to thank Beth, Ron, and Joe. Last year we were 15-9. We finished city champs. Second round of the state playoffs, we lost to Marlington. And I only say that because we lost 2 seniors that are now playing in college. And I remember, and despite that, I want to say, I remember last year Coach Fisher saying how this felt different up here being a city champ. It does feel different. We're looking forward to this year. We look a lot different. We're getting healthy from injuries right now. We are working hard every day and trying to get better every day. 7 returning letter winners and 6 newcomers, so we're trying to blend the old with the new and defend that city title. Another goal we have is to go deeper in the state tournament, and along with playing in the city, which is always competitive. Our non-league schedule consists of Gilmore Academy, Division III champs last year, state champs, Claymont, Talmadge, Kent, Greene, St. V, a Brunswick tournament, Revere, Cleveland East Tech, and St. Thomas. So our schedule is from top to bottom pretty tough. The 2 young ladies I brought with me are both returning starters from last year, both captains, both leaders on and off the floor. I'm going to start with the young lady, our youngest young lady with us, Javan Rogers. She's a 10th grader this year, all-around player. She has some Division I looks right now, Eastern Michigan, Wright State, some others. Averaged 11 points a game last year, and probably most importantly right now, a cum of 3.3. So she's taking care of the classroom. My senior here, Cassidy Thomas, she's a senior. She's a hard worker. She's got some junior college looks, a 3.4 GPA. And probably the biggest reason she's here is because the change, the maturity, the growth she's made from her freshman year to now. It's her first time here. So it's just the growth and the maturity has been a big deal. And so, I'm real proud of her, and we're looking forward for this season. Thanks.
Next, we'll hear from the East Dragons, head girls coach, Coach Anderson.
First of all, I'd like to say again thank you to the AEA for this event every year. Special thanks to the administrative staff downtown, Beth, Ron, and Mr. Vasilati, Joe. This year for us at East is going to be, we're excited. We have a strong core coming back along with some new pieces. What we're trying to do is blend everybody together. The key thing is we've got to develop, and we're working on a hard work attitude, work ethic, and teamwork together. And if we can combine those, I think we can have a very special year this year. The city series is always very tough, and we have a competitive out-of-league schedule as well. Today I brought with me two of my seniors. First, to my left, is Amanda Tubbs. Amanda is will be a four-year letterman this year. She's number 3 in her class academically. I think she carries a 3.7 GPA. Good kid, hard worker, does all the things, likes to mix it up in the paint, and we use her work ethic as something that all the other girls should aspire to play and work as hard as her. Jada Maxwell, to my right, will also be a 4-year letterman and senior this year. Jada is doing outstanding in the classroom, evidenced by her 3.5 grade point average again this grading period. I don't know exactly her class rank, but another thing that pleases me is we have 6 seniors on the team, and the lowest GPA we had amongst our seniors was a 3.0. So the girls are working hard in the classroom, and they're working hard on the court. So this year, we look forward to competing with everybody and just having a great year. And we hope everybody has success not only on the court, but stays healthy as well. Thank you. Anything you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to say? All right. Thank you.
And next from Ellett, Coach Wallace and her girls.
Okay. Again, I'd like to thank AEA as well. This beats any school lunch I've had in years, so thank you very much for putting that on. I guess I'm the veteran here, but I brought with me today 2 of the finest that we have at Ellett. You know, I was a little wavering whether or not I should bring somebody else because Cassie has been Player of the Year in volleyball, first team All-City in volleyball. We were city champs in volleyball. She was Player of the Year. She's first team All-City in basketball. And I thought, well, why penalize her for being so great? She is awesome. And she has been with me for 4 years, and it has been a pleasure to coach her. And to my right is Riley Klein, and she's been waiting and waiting and waiting, and now it's her turn. So I always say good things come to those who wait, and I'm looking forward to a terrific season with these 2 young ladies. When you have a backcourt as good as we're going to have this year, we're going to be in every game. And we do open up right off the get-go with Camp McKinley shootout, and that's always a competitive start for us. So we're looking for a terrific start. We're returning 4 starters, and I wish everybody a healthy, successful season, and good luck. Thank you.
Our next coach, no longer a rookie head coach, Coach Claire from Firestone. Come on up, bring your ladies.
Yeah, I am not the new one this year, and I'm happy about that. First of all, thanks to the AEA for having us. Thanks to the media here. And I just want to say on a side note, I get tremendous support from Joe, Ron, and Beth all the time. Can call them with anything, and they'll have an answer relatively quickly. But so I want to thank them for that. It's huge. It's a huge thing for me to have support on the outside, as well as my athletic director as well. One of the things I want to point out is these 2 ladies on either side of me are both new to this. This is their first year here. They're both returning varsity players. Jada Wallace, who is a sophomore, and Akaya Santee, who is a junior. We have a very strong underclassmen presence this year, which is something that we're excited about. I beefed up the schedule this year too. We added Canton McKinley, Perry, We had a Barberton as well, some other teams that I wanted to make sure that are going to provide us an opportunity to be more competitive come the tournament time. These ladies are fully aware of that. It was a little new to them last year, but tournament time is the best time to have. So with that, we're trying to mesh some old and some new. We have quite a few sophomores and quite a few freshmen, which is any coach's dream to continue to build from the ground up. And with that, do you guys have anything you want to say? Nothing?
No.
Not how much you love me or anything? Okay. But I want to wish everybody good luck this season and definitely injury-free. Thank you.
And next up, probably, I believe, our second most tenured head girls coach, next to Coach Wallace, of course. Coach Jones from Kenmore-Garfield.
Good afternoon. I would like to first thank God, as normal, as usual. That's what I do. Thank God for having this opportunity to be here. Thank AEA. Thank Beth. And I'm so used to saying Mr. Linger and Mr. Vasilati. Beth, Ron, and Joe for everything. And I'm with Coach T on that. If I call, they're right there for us. And I appreciate that. Helps a lot, especially with this new thing we got going. So with Kenmore-Garfield, I've had a good experience so far. The girls come to practice. They work hard. We're very young. I have a lot of sophomores. Today I have with me senior Sayla Richardson and senior Kiera Stiggers. Kiera is one of my defensive specialists, and Sayla's basically wherever I put her, she plays. So Sayla's also looking at Notre Dame College, Kentucky State, and Tiffin as some of the schools of her choice. We do have about 5 seniors, but I'm basically loaded with sophomores, and I have a promising freshman that's going to do a great job for us this year. I'm excited. We're young. Makes me want to stay a few more years, So we'll see how that goes. I have no choice in my schedule, so the schedule is the Garfield schedule. As you can see, I got to get some Kenmore-Garfield stuff together. The schedule we have, the only choice I had was to keep the green game, so we're following their schedule, but we're going to play the best that we can, and we are also going to try to get set up so that when tournament time comes and when city championship comes, we're going to try to fight our way and get in there somehow this year. We're going to work hard. They're listening. They're doing what I ask. I pray that each of you have a great season as well, and stay injury-free. Thank you.
And finally, our final head girls coach will be Coach Meadows from North.
Good afternoon. Definitely want to thank AEA, thank Beth, Joe, and Ron. I too can echo the words that they have been a tremendous help for me and our staff at North. Anything I need, they give me great advice, so I just love that. Thank you. I'm excited. Last year was my first year. We had to go through some injuries. We had a lot of girls out, including to the right of me, Kiera Gordon. She is a senior. And last year she was dealing with a lot of injuries, and she couldn't really get into the season. One thing about Miss Gordon is off season, since we started back, she has been in the gym every day, all day. And Amani Prem to my left, you guys are familiar with her. 4-year letterman, 3-year letterman. These two text my phone like daily. Coach, can we get in the gym? Can we get in the gym? Can we get in the gym? I see you at the school. Can we get in the gym? And I just love it. I mean, they lead the way for our team. We are We do have a lot of seniors returning. We have 6 seniors returning, which is great because these seniors have been playing together for the last 4 years. They have developed the basketball IQ. They have developed their game, and I am really excited for this season. Another thing about our program that I'm excited about is for the first time in about 10 years, we have a freshman team. Some of you know how important that is. I went about, like, I'm not gonna cut any freshmen, and I still had to cut about 4 or 5 freshmen. So I'm excited. Not that I have to cut people, but that I retained 12 freshmen that are at practice every day. They're coming in with the new mentality, that new energy, and they're willing to learn. So the program is building, and that's what I love most about what's going on. Also, these 2 here have a number of D2 offers coming in. Their names are going out. That's another thing we're striving for at North High School, is to get these girls to the next level. We creating that family atmosphere, and I love it. I mean, I'm so excited. Our schedule is a bit competitive this year. We did add a couple teams to our schedule that should prepare us for for the tournaments. So I'm excited about that. All right, I made it through. I didn't bring no notes this year. So with that said, good luck to everyone. When we see you on the court, we do plan to be competitive and bring you everything that we have. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach Meadows. Love the enthusiasm. Look forward to seeing you and your girls competing. Same with all the girls' teams. As we mentioned earlier, should be an exciting race, really wide open. With all the head coaches returning, I guess 5.5 are returning. Coach Jones, you are returning, but I know it's new. And thank you for taking on the challenge of bringing the girls from Kenmore-Garfield together there, making that work. Thank you very much. Now on the boys' side, as we switch, we do have 4 schools with new head coaches, which is a bit unusual. I don't know that last time that happened. That's a big turnover, but we're excited. I know those coaches and programs are excited as well. So we'll go alphabetically as well. We'll start with the Bookville grad and now head boys basketball coach Matt Futch.
Good afternoon, everybody. I like to thank AEA staff, obviously the big players in the room, Joe and Ron and the magician Beth over there. So thank you for everything you all do, and the transition has been very comfortable and easy thus far. So appreciate that. You know, it's crazy that I'm back here in Akron and got the opportunity to come back to my alma mater and give it a go at Bookville and see what I can do and see what I can implement and how the student athletes will respond. So far, you know, it's been a rigorous summer, I would say, and being able to utilize the practices and strength conditionings and you know, 4-man workouts and open gyms. You know, we've come a long way since June 9th. I think I was able to get in. With that being said, football season ended, and so we had a lot of kids come out and try out. I had like 68 kids. I did not expect that. And you know, tough part about it, you know, coming from the college games, you got to make cuts, and that was very difficult because I thought I was going to go in. I told somebody, I said, it's going to be an hour. I said, I'm going to do this in an hour, and it took me all of 3 hours. On that day, and then also a couple more days throughout the week. So, you know, there goes my philosophy. But with that, you know, I had in mind that to try to build a program, because I believe we are in rebuild mode. You know, you got to, you know, have a foundation of young players. So we got a pretty decent group of guys with our freshman team and JV programs. And then we got about 8 seniors that I kept, and that was a little bit too much that I would like to take on. But those kids are talented, and they were committed to the change and open to looking to get better. So we got about 8 seniors, a couple of which they may be unhappy with playing time, but we'll try to kind of, I won't reinvent the wheel. We'll play to our strengths. We want to get up and down and make it a little difficult for the opposing teams with some defensive pressure. Got 3 freshmen, one really good freshman that I was able to get over there, and he I didn't know where he came from, and I was just impressed with what he can do. And then we have also some newcomers that came in, Tyrus Tony and also Jay Sean Campbell. And then we have Jonathan King here is a junior. He's a kid, when I came over, a couple guys actually moved out of the district, and I was like, man, it wasn't Jonathan King, was it? And so I was able to got a chance to see him last year playing, and very happy that he didn't move out the district as well. So, but John is here, a little bit banged up, but hopefully he'll get together soon here and that cast will come off. But very excited about our team, very excited about what we can do here in year 1. We have some, I was able to have my hand a little bit on the schedule, and I wanted to get prepared to try to see if we can compete year in, year out for a possible state title. That's kind of the mindset I want to have. And we've added Glenville. They're coming to our place, which is a really good team. Richmond Heights, obviously the defending state champ, St. Vincent St. Mary, Stowe High School, and Talmadge. And then we also have some pretty tough games on the road in addition to our city games. Maple Heights, Warrensville, Ursuline, Barberton at a neutral site, and also Holborn at a neutral site. So it's going to be a very tough schedule. I've kind of looked at a little film, watching the defending city champions here at Ellet, and I got my work cut out for me. So I think, but we're up for the task and try to see if we can climb back slowly to where we need to be. But John, you got anything?
Good luck. Don't get injured.
Yeah. So, but good luck to everyone, and pray everybody stay healthy.
Next we have Coach Dawson from East. Of course, Coach Dawson, a longtime head coach previously at Kenmore, now taking on the East Dragons, moving to the east side of the city. And I know he's excited to get them going.
Okay, I just want to start off with the traditional thank yous for everybody, and I'll cut that short. I decided to bring 2 players, Derviante Russell, Ross Walker, and it was a tough call for me to decide who to bring. We have 8 seniors on the team, and I want to mention all their names. We got Ross, Tyler Price, Kendrick Buckley, he has the most experience from last year, Deshaun Brimage, Javon Jones, Lamar Jones, James Ross, and Denver Buchanan. So we have 8 seniors, and that's really something that's new to me to try to juggle that kind of playing time, but it's going to be simple. The players are going to determine who fill the 5 spots and who gets on the floor. And that fact has made our practices very interesting because the lineups change. We don't have a starting group yet, and that's all fluid, day to day, practice to practice, and that makes a healthy environment. If they can follow that up with a lot of teamwork, I think we can have some surprising success. As far as Derviante, he's a junior, and he's probably one of our most complete players, and he has a bright future because he's a 5-tool player. He can shoot, drive, handle the ball, defend, block shots, rebound. He can do it all, and as hard as he's willing to work will be how far he goes with what he loves to do is play basketball. Another reason these 2 players were selected by me is because throughout the summer and everything we did, these are the first guys that I don't recall missing anything that we've done, and I appreciate that. Ross Walker is a senior. He'll do a lot of the ball handling duties for us. He's a great defensive player and good leadership. So with that, I want to mention a few more players on the team. which would be Emmanuel Rogers, Keyshawn Mosley, Darius Reese, Billy Johnson, who is a 10th grader, and Shaheem Pickens, a 10th grader. That rounds out our roster, and good luck to everybody.
Our defending boys basketball champions are the Ellet Orangemen. So next we'll hear from Coach Fisher.
Thank you, everybody, for having us, and another special thanks to Mrs. Kearns at Ellet High School principal for having the faith in me to coach the fine young men at Ellet. I really appreciate that. We're looking to reload, I guess. Really don't want to rebuild, but we think we have enough players to just reload instead of having to rebuild. But we want to continue what we're doing and what we have been doing over the last 3 or 4 years and get better and better, and hopefully get a little bit farther in the tournament this year and have some lofty goals that way too. We graduated 5 seniors from last year, all starters. All of our starters were seniors last year. Our 6th man was a senior, and these 2 were also 6 men, and that's the only thing we have returning that has varsity experience. So we will be inexperienced, but we'll have a lot of depth, and we'll have some players that can play basketball. We'll put a good team out there on the floor. It's going to be fun competing against the new coaches, and we'll have to do a little bit more scouting this year to see what they do, and it's going to be a little tougher that way. We were sort of accustomed to knowing what everybody did in the past and tried to scheme against that, but this year is going to have to be a little bit different and try to see what everybody does. But I brought with me Alfred Johnson, the 3rd, and 6'7", 6'8" young man, one of the finest young men I've ever been around. True gentleman, loves his teammates, loves his coach, does anything he can for the program and the school. Just one of the is almost a perfect young man. Okay, and if he can play to his ability this year, we're going to be something to be reckoned with. He had 126 blocks last year. That's just sort of phenomenal. Over 5 a game, and you can tell with those long arms and that height, and he gets up on you when you don't expect him to block that shot. He'll get up on it and block it. But he's really worked hard this year on his offensive game, and he'll be a force to be reckoned with in the city, I believe. Stephen Zampelli to my right. He's a great shooter, shot over 40% last year from the 3. Great foul shooter, good ball handler. Hopefully a good leader this year to step in there and take charge of our team, and hopefully these young guys will follow in his footsteps and get in that gym and shoot the ball until they become great shooters. But we have other guys that are going to be good also, and we're looking forward to that. We stepped up our schedule again. We tried to play as the best teams that we can. We went down to Stark County, got a lot of games. We're playing down there a lot, and we'll play Jackson and Lake and Wadsworth and Perry and Maslin, and trying to step up and prepare ourselves for the tournament this year. So good luck to everybody else, and we'll see you on the court. Thanks.
Now up next, not a rookie coach in the city, but well, we love him. Coach Milo from Firestone.
Thank you. Members of the media can relate. I feel like I was listening to Lou Holtz. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to win this week. You know, they're a lot better team, and I don't know if we can stay up. Come on, Mark. Geez, AEA, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody's going to be competitive. All right, everybody's going to be competitive. Real quick, I don't want to forget, Ron Linger, Joe, folks, they were coaches. All right, they've been where we are. So and obviously you know already, use them. All right, take advantage. And Beth, all right, she's the brains behind the outfit. She does all the work and everything. But these are people that are willing to help us and do it. All right, so it really, take advantage of it. Just like take advantage of the media. They're willing to cover you. All right, and they're willing to talk to you. Always be nice to the media. How's that? All right, because the way I met him is I was interviewing him before a game for cable television 25 years back there with those guys. All right, but real quick, competitive. Coach Futch, Coach Smith, and Coach Kirsten, welcome. All right, and good luck. And I mean this wholeheartedly. If there's anything we can do, game film, scouting reports, as long as it's not against us, okay, I will give you anything you want, all right? And take advantage of Huddle, take advantage of everything that's out there, that access, because it is going to make us. And I've said this before, we've got to make the city more competitive with the outside. I love that you're playing the tough games and the tough teams. We don't shirk from anybody, as long as my AD doesn't hold my record against me, okay? Because, I mean, I'm sorry, we start out with Copley, Canton, McKinley, and Brunswick, all right? And it doesn't get any easier, really. We end up with Revere, Green, Uniontown Lake, North Canton, Hoover. We're going down there this year. I asked my AD why, but it's good for the kids. It is good for the kids because seniors, you're going to remember this year, all right? I was a long time ago, back in the 70s, and I remember losing to East Tech by 9 in the city championship and then losing to East Tech by 9 in the regional final at the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. And I still remember those games. You're going to remember games, all right? And when you say give it all you got, did I give it all my gut? You're gonna be your own worst enemy, all right? But as long as you know and you get off that court and you're tired, you gave it all you got. This year goes fast. Every year, it's going to be February and you're going to go, dang, where'd the season go, all right? And it did. It goes fast. And then coaches, we get ready for next year, all right? I've got 3 guys coming back. Justin Moore, and I got to say, last year he was my starting center. He's my 3 this year. All right, last year we were probably the smallest team in the area, which was very frustrating. And you can't replace a Tremaine Gray. All right, Tremaine, City Series Player of the Year, is now playing at Malone. All right, but he was a guard. I started at one time, I had 5 guards out on the floor. It was frustrating. So these are my guards now. Perryon Johnson, one of my leaders, and Taylor Mack, all right? Then I've got Justin Moore coming back, who last year was my 5, is now my 3, all right? And I've got some height, all right? And I've got football players. I've always liked football players, so I like that attitude of coming in and making practices hard. So it's going to be fun this year. It is. But coaches, and I mean it wholeheartedly, if there's anything we can do as far as keeping the city out there and really keeping the city up there in name, use us, all right? Thank you.
Now we do have a rookie head coach, Coach Kirsten at Kenmore-Garfield. Coach, come on up.
I better make sure I hit all the big names here like everybody else did. I want to thank the AEA for having us. I was at this event. It wasn't here when I was a senior at Garfield High School, but this event's been going for a while, and I think it's really cool to get everybody together and kind of get excited about what's about to take place. So I wanted to thank the AEA, and I'd like to thank Mr. Linger and Mr. Vasilati and Beth as well for everything. They have been great supporters. They've been great supporters for me in our program already, and a lot of help. Obviously, first year, so things are, a little different for me. I've been an assistant for the last 12 years at multiple places, and my father-in-law, who I've coached for the last 9 years, used to tell me, "Hey, being head coach is a lot of work. Like, you don't understand. You got a lot more to do." And I would kind of say, yeah, I understand. I get it. You don't get it until you really put your foot in the fire. So, it's been a lot of fun. Really looking forward to things. It's great to be back in the city series. I've been born and raised in Firestone Park. Grew up 2 blocks from Garfield High School. Now that's getting knocked down, so that's hurts a little bit. But in the same token, we've really embraced the challenge of merging both the schools together. I feel like our basketball players in both programs, the boys and the girls, have really done a good job. I would like to say the same about the rest of the culture. at that building right now, but that continues to be a work in progress. We're trying to make it the best situation as we can. I told my players early on, I said, you're going to be part of the problem or part of the solution. I said, if you're part of the problem in that school, then you're not going to be with us. So they've really kind of taken that to heart. And I've got 2 seniors up here that have done a great job of being leaders. I coached cross country this year, something that Coach Larry, who coached me in high school, did back when I was in high school. And I think it's a good thing to do if you don't play football. Get you in shape a little bit. And, we'd follow those up with some open gyms and stuff and some 4-man workouts as well. And these guys have been committed from day one. The senior, Drew Williams here. Actually, a little interesting story. His dad played at Garfield High School, and he was my freshman coach when I was in high school. And his dad's going to help out as a volunteer assistant coach. So it's just a real different dynamic. But he's a pretty good player, really quick with the basketball, can score from anywhere. Really, and his dad kind of warned me about this before our first scrimmage. He goes, listen, he's not a great practice player. He's not a bad practice player. He's a good player. But when the games come, he's got a different gear. So I told him it's still unacceptable that we lower that gear a little bit in practice. But in the same token, we're going to get that out of him. I'm really looking forward to see what he does in his new environment. He's coming to us from Coventry, but he's coming back to his home school district. So we're excited about that. Cameron Brown over here is a 2-year letterman and a returning player from Kenmore. I think he got a few starts over there last year with Coach Dawson, and they had a great run over there as well. Got a lot of respect for him and the program that he instilled there. So when I talk about discipline, I'm not talking about the Kenmore side. I'm more talking about the Garfield side that we're trying to instill over there. But we got a new school. We're really looking forward to kind of starting fresh, starting our own culture with discipline, and to be able to kind of build things from the ground up. Like Coach Futch says, it's a lot, and we're both excited to kind of do this as well as some of the other newcomers as well. These guys all got tough schedules. My schedule seems to be a little bit easier. Our first week we start out with Hoover and Jackson, then we go Hoban, Canton Central Catholic, Warrensville Heights, CVCA, Copley High School. So those should be automatic dubs. We're looking just pad stats. In all seriousness, that schedule as well as your guys' schedule, they're very difficult, and I'm looking for the challenge because I think all the city teams are going to be prepared, to kind of go to war, and I think that's what it's going to be. And I don't mean that lightly. I mean it's going to be an extreme opportunity for both the players and the coaches to kind of get after it a little bit. Our goals, okay? I want to keep it simple. Okay, our goal is to compete for the City Series Championship every year. Okay, and I got a lot of respect for all the coaches. I coached with Dave Milo, with Coach Larry at Firestone. Mr. Fisher, Coach Fisher has taken Ellett from ground zero to a very, very, very highly touted program. And I followed him for a while. I know he's got a great program over there. Coach Dawson, like I said, when I was at Norton, we played them an awful lot. And last year he took a group and really overachieved with a nice group of seniors over there. So, and then Coach Futch was a great player, and I know that Bookville doesn't have a lack of athletes over there, so I know they're going to get after us a little bit, and the rest of the teams. And Coach Van North is a great man. I met him at Showcase, and I know he's got some players over there that's going to bring something to the table. So, like Mr. Vesely said, it's wide open. I think we're a little bit of underdog right now, but that's okay. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. These guys are ready to go, and I want to say good luck to everybody. Have a great year. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. Best wishes to everybody in here, girls and boys programs. Thank you. I'm sorry, our senior Drew Williams wanted to say a few words.
Oh, yes, thank you for having us. I appreciate it, I really do.
I'm just kidding. He told me he wanted to say.
I want to thank Coach Kirsten, just like Coach Jones, for taking on a challenge at Kenmore-Garfield. We need it and we appreciate it. Our last head boys basketball coach is new to the city, but not new to the game of basketball. Very, very pleased and proud to announce Coach Mark Smith from North.
All right. I didn't have any notes when I came in, but I thought I'd put some things down just so I won't forget. First of all, thanks to everyone who has made this day special for our athletes and our coaches. This is huge. I like this. Coming from the college game, you get involved with media day, and it's all it's hype and all that stuff. And it's good for the athletes to be involved with that. A little nerve-wracking for the coaches sometimes, but I think it's good. As a newcomer to APS and high school basketball, it's been interesting. I've probably been a little bit more intense than I need to be, but I think our kids need it, right? I'm trying to build a foundation here at North High School. I think the kids have been receptive. They haven't met my expectations yet, but they will soon. Of the 11 upperclassmen that we have, only 2 had significant experience, right? And so that's the seniors and juniors. So we're starting from the ground up, and I think they've responded well, and I appreciate their efforts so far. With me, I have Jaquan Campbell, who's a senior, left-handed kid that I think can create his own shots. Been very active in the summer. And Tyrell Salters, a kid who is very good fundamentally. We're trying to turn him into a scorer. Yeah, we're trying to turn him into a scorer so he can help us put some points on the board, but handles the ball very well and is a very good defensive player. And I'm looking forward for both of these young men to contribute heavily to this program. I do want to mention as well that we have about 14 underclassmen, freshmen and sophomores. I don't know if we're going to have a freshman team. It looks like our freshmen may have to play JV, which is good and could be bad as well. But I think that experience of playing up will help us in the future, and I'm looking forward to seeing their development as the year goes on with that. Now, Coach Milo, you said anything that we want, right? Anything that we need?
As long as it's not against us.
As long as it's not against you.
Yes,
I mean, give me some of them players you got that size. That would help. I've known Matt for a little bit, and so we've known each other for a while, and I met Coach Kirsten this summer, and I think it's going to be a great city series, and I hope that everyone plays up to their potential, and also when you come to the gym, just be expecting to be competitive, for anyone that you play in and outside of the city. For the group as a whole, I think if we can continue to challenge them, I think that we'll see some improvement. I don't ask for any favors. No, don't let up on us. I mean, come with your very best, because these young men need to know what it feels like to compete. We want to compete every day. And I think if you bring your best, it'll bring out the best in them. Last thing I can say, because I know the two speaking spots that are not very popular are the one before the meal, right, and the one before you go home. I'd like to end with saying good luck to everyone this season, and I look forward to a great season. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Smith. I think it was Coach Milo who mentioned the seniors, right, Coach, and seniors taking everything, because you remember your senior year. Mine's not quite as far back as yours, but I remember my senior year.
I agree.
I remember my last game was against Akron Central Howard in the tournament, and we lost, and I fouled out with a minute left because I was going to get my money's worth. And they went on to a state title, and God bless them. But you remember things like that. You'll remember the losses too, and the times in the locker room and the bus rides and all that. So seniors, when you're lacing up for every practice scrimmage game, putting those shoes on, take it all in, give it your best every afternoon in practice, every night when you compete in a game. Again, want to thank AEA for putting this on, and the media for being here. We deeply appreciate it. We're excited not only for our city action, which begins in early December, but also for your non-league games. Very impressed with the schedules that we're playing, because we want to be the best. We want to compete with all teams in the area and throughout the state, and advance farther in the OHSA tournament by the end of the year. So congrats to you coaches for putting together challenging schedules like that. As Coach Smith said, well, you play against great competition. It should bring out the best in you. And I know we downtown look forward to seeing you all compete as well. On your way out, please take cookies. A lot of cookies left over there. Grab a drink. And As many mentioned today, good luck and stay healthy this year. Hope you're all injury free. Thank you.